Imagine you're seated on an airplane, but all the fellow passengers turn out to be assassins who are after your life. Something quite similar unfolds in our narrative today. At the commencement of the story, we observe a man named Aryan who appears very distressed and in a rush. As soon as Aryan arrives at his department, he requests the staff to play the video footage as swiftly as possible. Then he observes that there has been a massive bomb explosion in a factory. After Aryan conducted thorough research on this, he discovered that Ghost was the mastermind behind it. Ghost was someone whose true identity was a mystery. When Aryan and his team closely reviewed the CCTV footage, they saw that Ghost was incredibly smart and a real mastermind, as his face was never clearly visible in any of the videos. The situation had worsened. Aryan, frustrated, said this had to be fixed before Catherine got there. She must not find out. When Catherine arrived at the office, she quickly asked Aryan for an update on the case and found out that the Ghost is in Heacock. Many of Catherine's team members died in the factory bomb blast. She was very angry about this. She asked which of our teams is closest to Bangkok. Aryan told her that there is a team in Singapore, but it might take them some time to reach Bangkok. Catherine thought that the Ghost would also be traveling here and there by flight, and now she wanted to catch him at any cost. She only had 1 hour. Everyone started brainstorming. Then Catherine said that we have no other option now. Only a single individual possesses the capability to accomplish it, and fortunately, he is presently situated in Bangkok. The narrative then transitioned directly to Bangkok, where a young child was gradually approaching an auto rickshaw, inside of which a man was reclining, finishing his sleep. The child attempted to stealthily pilfer his belongings, but the man awoke. That man's name is Lucas. Lucas chased the child away and proceeded into a bar, smoking a cigarette. She asked if you would like some coffee. I'll bring it right away, but Lucas only drank alcohol, and that too only if it was free. Lucas told the woman that all his organs are perfectly fine. When I die, sell them and recover all the money. During the conversation, Lucas's phone rang and he got scared as if he had seen a ghost. The call was from Catherine, but Lucas hung up. However, Catherine shamelessly kept calling again and again, and Lucas kept quickly cutting her calls. Just then, the telephone outside started ringing. Lucas told the bartender not to answer the phone, but he picked it up anyway. Catherine was on the line and she straightforwardly said to let her speak to Lucas quickly. Lucas started yelling on the call, asking why she wanted to talk to him, calling her a crazy woman and saying she ruined his life. He mentioned that he was hiding in Bangkok, but people still followed him. However, Catherine told Lucas that this was his only chance to fix everything and to trust her, assuring him that she would make everything right. At that particular moment, several thugs entered the bar with the intention of killing Lucas, but eliminating Lucas was not that simple. Lucas swiftly overpowered all the thugs and exited the establishment. As soon as he stepped outside, he contacted Catherine and inquired about his next steps. Catherine explicitly stated that he needed to apprehend a hacker named Ghosh. His flight was soon going to board in Bangkok, so Lucas needed to catch him and bring him to her. Lucas questioned what he would receive in return. Catherine responded, saying that he would have the opportunity to live his former life once again. He will not have to continue running indefinitely. Lucas, with a tone of anger, exclaimed, "Do you really think I will trust you so easily?" At that precise moment, the thugs returned, and Lucas began contemplating how much longer he could continue hiding in Bangkok. He contacted Catherine once more and requested, "Please explain the plan to me thoroughly." Catherine commenced explaining that he needed to swiftly make his way to the airport. With his passport in hand, he was required to board the exact same flight that the hacker was on. Following the advice of a local, he entered a taxi and proceeded towards the airport. Just before reaching the airport, he took possession of the taxi driver's t-shirt, after which he proceeded to enter the airport. As soon as he stepped inside, an individual handed him a passport and a ticket. He received yet another call from Catherine, who informed him that Ghost had been shot and a medical professional had treated him. Keep this crucial detail in mind as it will assist you in identifying him. This information was sufficient for Lucas. Then he quietly boarded the flight. This flight was going directly from Bangkok to San Francisco. Lucas was extremely happy that for the first time in so many years, he was finally returning to the United States. At that moment, the individual seated beside him initiated a conversation with Lucas. The man's name was Kayan. Kayan informed Lucas that he is a renowned choreographer, which means he instructs individuals in the art of dance. "You should witness my dance moves. Everyone admires my choreography." Lucas was becoming increasingly annoyed by all of this. Meanwhile, Catherine's team notified him that every person on the aircraft is an assassin who has boarded the flight with the intention of eliminating the Ghost. However, nobody is aware of the Ghost's appearance. This particular fact Catherine became worried. She asked again, "Are you sure you're telling the truth?" To which the team responded affirmatively. Catherine realized that something very bad was about to happen. She instructed her team to find Ghost's appearance as soon as possible. Meanwhile, on the flight, Kyan offered Lucas a drink, and after consuming it, everything became blurry for Lucas and he lost consciousness. Kyan then took him to the bathroom and started threatening him. Some time ago, Kyan had also received a contract to kill Ghost and he suspected that Lucas was Ghost. He initiated a severe assault on Lucas. Lucas was persistently endeavoring to defend himself in such a dire predicament, but due to the effects of the drink, Kyan was gaining the upper hand. Ultimately, Kyan attempted to strangle Lucas to death when Lucas noticed an iron handle affixed to the wall. He mustered some strength, lifted Kyan, and forcefully slammed his head into the handle, causing Kyan to die instantly. After killing him, Lucas experienced a slight sense of relief. Lucas was aware that he was about to lose consciousness due to the effects of that drink. Therefore, he crawled over to the door and began consuming the shampoo that was placed there, hoping it would induce vomiting swiftly. After he vomited, Lucas felt significantly more relieved. Just then, 2 flight attendants arrived at the bathroom door. The girl's name was Aisha and the boy's name was Royce. They had come to check if everything was alright because the bathroom door had been closed for quite a while. They kept knocking on the door repeatedly, but Lucas did not open it. Then the Sky Marshal arrived and started banging on the door as well. Finally, Lucas opened the door and they asked him what he had been doing inside for so long. Lucas said that he suddenly felt unwell, which is why it took so much time, but the Sky Marshal didn't believe him. They were utterly incredulous. They suspected Lucas was involved in some sort of scheme, so they drew their firearm and directed it at Lucas, but Lucas deftly seized the firearm away. The attendants were utterly speechless. They were unable to locate Kyan's body because Lucas had concealed it in the restroom. Both attendants were extremely frightened. Then Lucas informed them that he was an agent of the FBI. He was present to apprehend a criminal who was currently aboard the flight. He mentioned they should assist him. Isha inquired, "Who is this man? What is his appearance like? Please inform us and we will certainly assist you." At this moment, Lucas stated, "I am not even aware of that. All I am aware of is that his alias is Ghost. No one has ever laid eyes on his face and no one is aware of his true identity. However, I do know that he was recently injured by a gunshot and we must locate him before the flight. The individual I just eliminated was also here to assassinate Ghost and mistakenly believed I was Ghost. This implies there might be additional individuals on the flight who have come to eliminate Ghost, but I must apprehend Ghost alive, so we must identify him before anyone else manages to eliminate him." Lucas informs Aisha that he requires some clothing because he currently lacks any. In the cargo section, another assassin was concealed, getting his weapon ready. Meanwhile, Lucas prepared himself as well. He glanced inside and then proceeded to examine the list of passengers. Subsequently, they proceeded to the cargo section with Isha and everyone took their seats there. The moment they opened the compartment, a deceased body tumbled out. It was none other than the genuine Sky Marshal. This indicated that the individual who killed him who came there pretending to be a fake cop. Lucas sat down, deep in thought. Then he noticed that Isha was sweating out of fear. Lucas had been in this business for a long time. He knew that this sweat was different. Such sweat only appears when you are injured. Lucas said, "I've been attacked many times, even shot and stabbed. That means you are injured too. You were shot, right?" Lucas realized that Isha is Ghost. Everyone thought that such a big hacker would be a guy, but it turned out to be a girl. It was a girl? Isha outrightly refused to accept this. She exclaimed, No, I wasn't shot. Are you out of your mind? The hitman concealed in the cargo department was eavesdropping on all their conversations. Suddenly, he attempted to attack Isha, but she swiftly killed him in a single move. This incident made it evident that Isha is indeed the Ghost. Isha didn't place her trust in Lucas, suspecting that he merely wanted to capture her, not kill her. However, Lucas responded, "If you don't trust me, then who will you place your trust in? I feel like every individual on this plane is here to kill me. I am the one who wants to save you." Isha had no other option, so she agreed and asked what the plan was. Lucas said, "You keep acting as a flight attendant, but whenever you have doubts about anyone, come straight to me and tell me." Then he met with the pilot and informed him that something very bad was about to happen, so no matter what, do not open the cockpit door. A passenger requested coffee from Aisha and she provided it to him before returning to her position. Meanwhile, Lucas made his way into the first class section to assess the types of assassins present there. At that moment, a girl abruptly launched an attack on Lucas, initiating a fight between them. The girl was an exceptional fighter, and despite Lucas exerting his utmost effort to prevail, overcoming her appeared almost impossible. When the girl unveiled her tattoo, Lucas recognized that she was affiliated with the Trad gang, which is the most prominent gang in Asia. The entire group was present. At that very moment, Lucas noticed a broken shard of glass. He picked it up and drove it into the girl's eye, blinding her. Nevertheless, the assassin still refused to surrender, so Lucas drove the glass into her head, ultimately killing her. However, it didn't conclude there. The aircraft was filled with members of the trade gang and they all launched an attack on Lucas. Meanwhile, the individual to whom Aisha had served coffee was aware. That Esha is indeed the ghost. Before he could launch an attack on Esha, his throat began to hurt intensely because Esha had poisoned his coffee and the hitman succumbed before he could assault Esha Kumar. Meanwhile, Lucas was engaged in combat with everyone and successfully managed to defeat them one by one. Subsequently, Isha arrived there accompanied by Royce and was utterly stunned to witness so many individuals laid out. Lucas was in extremely bad condition. He discovered a phone in his hand that displayed a photo of Lucas. He seized Isha and demanded to know why these individuals had his photo. The picture came, then Royce said that this picture is on all the passengers' phones. Hearing this, Lucas was astonished. He couldn't understand anything. Then he asked Aisha to tell him the whole truth about why so many people were after her, and now they were after him too. Isha mentioned that a few days ago, I blew up a factory because they employed children there. I don't like such things, so I blew it up and I don't know why these people want to kill you. Hearing this, Lucas was confused. Meanwhile, Iron tells Catherine that he doesn't trust Lucas at all. Who is this man? How can you be so sure that he will safely bring back the ghost? Then Catherine told him the whole story. He previously worked for the agency. He was considered the most perilous member of the entire organization. Then, one day, he was assigned to ensure the security of a very significant individual. Lucas was stationed outside that individual's room. Suddenly, he heard a girl screaming. When he entered the room, he discovered that the affluent man was nothing less than a devil. That wealthy man would summon prostitutes and brutally murder them. Lucas couldn't endure witnessing this and he beat the man until he was dead, and that's where the true story commenced. Nicole ended Lucas's life. His elder sibling was the leader of the CIA. That individual unleashed the entire CIA upon Lucas. Iron inquired how she was aware of all this information, and Catherine clarified that she was his girlfriend and the one who alerted the CIA about his location. Subsequently, he traveled to Bangkok and never returned to her. The CIA dispatched numerous agents to eliminate Lucas, but those who pursued him vanished. They never returned. Lucas was already perilous before. He was already dangerous, but over the past few years, so many people have attacked him that he has become even more dangerous now. On the flight, Isha went to Lucas and started showing him the medicines that the doctor had given her after the treatment. Isha said, "Take these, you have a lot of injuries," but just then Lucas noticed that quite a few hitmen were looking for him. Lucas directly confronted them and started taking them down one by one. However, Isha saw that Lucas was gradually getting weaker, so she came to save him. But Lucas angrily said, "What are you doing? You're going to make things worse for me if those people find out that I'm with you." At that moment, a man happened to overhear their conversation, and subsequently, another man launched an attack on Lucas. While Lucas was engaged in combat with him, Isha was simultaneously attempting to defend herself from yet another thug. Isha exerted her utmost effort to fend off the assailant and ultimately succeeded. Lucas had nearly subdued everyone, but he was now injured due to a knife attack. Then 3 women arrived and attacked Lucas, but Aisha shouted to rescue him, exclaiming, "He's with me!" These women were actually Isha's friends. They were on the plane to rescue him. Lucas had many injuries. They took him down for medical treatment, and meanwhile, Catherine recognized Aisha's face. She realized this young woman is the ghost. At that particular moment, Iron stepped outside while conversing on the phone. Lucas initiated a conversation with Isha, inquiring about her background, and Isha elaborated that she hails from India, an orphan, and that orphan children frequently get abducted because there is no one to care for them. They would abduct and force girls to work like servants and eventually sell them somewhere. However, my mind was exceptionally sharp, so everyone believed it was more beneficial to utilize my intellect to generate money rather than sell me. I possessed hacking skills, so I began rescuing them in numerous situations. Gradually, as I was maturing and when I became slightly older, I managed to escape from those individuals. Subsequently, for the following decade, I dedicated myself to developing a device. I engineered the most perilous device in the world, capable of infiltrating any system within a mere 30 seconds. The identical task would take other hackers years to complete. However, it wasn't long before everyone discovered its existence, and they all pursued me. Their interest lies not in me, but in the device itself. I fear that if this device ends up in the wrong hands, nothing could be more catastrophic. Then we observe. Catherine approached Aaron and demanded, "What are you concealing from me? Disclose everything immediately." Aaron then began revealing the truth, explaining that his associates were also pursuing Ghost. Ghost possesses an extraordinarily unique device for which individuals are prepared to pay any amount. Upon discovering that Ghost was aboard that aircraft, I placed a bounty on him and dispatched all the assassins onto the plane. Subsequently, I learned that you had also deployed your operative on the plane, so I initially distributed Lucas's photograph to all the assassins so they could eliminate Lucas and then Ghost. I'm sure they've already taken out Lucas and will soon get Ghost too. Eventually all those assassins will fight each other for money, and by the time the aircraft no one will be left alive. Everyone will die and the device will be mine. I'm willing to give you a small share, and Catherine agreed. On the aircraft, Aisha discovered that her photograph had been distributed to all the assassins seated above. This indicated that the confrontation was about to become even more perilous. Lucas requested, "Hand me that medication," and immediately upon consuming it, transformations commenced within his body. He began acting as though he were under the influence. When he peeled off the label from the bottle, it revealed itself to be not adrenaline but rather toad venom, which induced his mind to become exceedingly hyperactive. He experienced a rush of energy. In his intoxicated condition, he ascended with everyone else. At this moment, the trio of girls launched an assault on the assassins and commenced eliminating them individually. Each time Lucas attempted to confront someone, he began experiencing peculiar sensations. His mind started presenting him with surreal visions. In this altered state, he was freeing individuals from this existence. Subsequently, one of the trio was fatally shot and a bullet penetrated the aircraft's wall, resulting in a substantial opening. Consequently, all the passengers started being ejected one after another. Concurrently, 2 assassins made their way to the cockpit, and they successfully eliminated both of the pilots. The situation had become exceedingly perilous. At that very precise moment, Aisha observed Channel 100 and handed a Channel 100 to Lucas. Lucas then began cutting people down like carrots and radishes. Suddenly, a man fired a shot at Aisha, but a girl intervened and saved her life. Lucas was unstoppable. He eliminated everyone and proceeded to the cockpit. On the ground, Catherine and Iron were anticipating the plane, but the aircraft never took off because it was completely destroyed. Both of them, they had perished. Upon discovering this, Catherine became consumed with intense rage and shot Iron. Meanwhile, Aisha and Lucas were situated in the cockpit. Aisha was attempting to gain control of the aircraft, and eventually, the plane gradually began to stabilize. At that precise moment, Catherine contacted Lucas to inquire about Aisha and the device. However, Lucas responded, "I refuse to listen to a single word from you, nor will I assist you. I've never encountered a more self-centered woman than you, who solely looks out for her own advantage." Aisha expressed gratitude to Lucas for saving her life. Aisha thanked him. Lucas said that you have not only saved my life but also given me a purpose to live. Until now, I was living a directionless life. Soon, Aisha turned the plane around and saw that Lucas had passed out. When Lucas opened his eyes, he was in a hospital where he was being treated, but suddenly an attack occurred. Bullets started raining from all sides and the entire hospital was riddled with bullets. Lucas came outside and Aisha came running towards him and said that the fight is not over yet. These people are still looking for us. We must continue this fight. They are still looking for us. We must continue this fight, and with that, the story ends here.